We need to get the bed and the cab off the truck so that we can pull the engine and everything out from underneath so we can make room to slide our Miata frames up underneath. This, we hate it. Scott, it's not ready to drive yet.
For those 10 seconds or less, I'm free.
This is so stupid. Oh, we made a roller. Really? 10,000, I know what I got. No low balls. No low balls. Yes. Hi. I have a really big head, so these helmets, they just kind of sit on top. I can't get them to lock onto my head. So I am cutting everything off the front of the frame. We got the front subframe in, started looking at it. I think the entire shape of the front of the frame is gonna have to change. So all of this is gonna have to go. We're stripping it down to just the frame rails. I'm gonna slide the wheels back under and then look again at what we need to do. So that subframe's gonna have to come up a lot. So I think the frame's gonna have to make a hump for the subframe. So I need all this stuff out of my way so I can really see what I'm looking at.
So my task for tonight is to get all of this crap off of here. All the vacuum lines for emissions. What else we got? To be honest, I don't even know what's in here. I know there's a lot of vacuum lines and a lot of it's for emissions. So I'm gonna rip all that down and get this intake off and get the exhaust manifold off because we're gonna be using different ones anyways. I'm also gonna be taking this 5-speed off because the 5-speeds are kind of hard to find for these. And so it's nice to have them around, and we have a bunch of 4-speeds and you don't need overdrive in a drift car. So we're just gonna throw a 4-speed in it. I'm gonna check out this clutch. I mean, we're not trying to spend any money, so hopefully this clutch is in good shape. If not, we'll have to sort through the clutch bin and see what we got.
I am in charge of seats. I have to get the Miata seats to work well in the Love chassis. So that's what I'm gonna be doing tonight. Exciting stuff. It's gonna be so cool. Miata.
Best seats out there. Not really. I'm about to dismantle someone's home. I don't know who it is, but. Yeah, there's a lot of it in there. It's like stuck in the flywheel. Some like nuts and stuff in there. Another thing I'm gonna do tonight is try to spin this engine over by hand, because we haven't even done that, so hopefully it spins. There is oil in it, and it actually doesn't look that bad. So I mean, I'm hopeful. Dude, it smells like nail polish remover. I don't know what that's about. But I'm gonna try to spin it over by hand here in a minute and see what we're working with. Probably gonna pop the valve cover off too, see if there's any rust in there. It was pretty sealed, so I think it'll be all right.
There it went. Bumper. There's pieces of this frame up underneath of those sections there that I need off that I can't get to with the torches but on the ground. So I think I'm gonna try to stand it up. Will you stay like that?
Get a rotisserie.
The thing, and then it. Well, that was like dominoes, wasn't it? Nathan, you're so fast.
He is.
Like Spider-Man.
Everything's slowed down.
Cameraman never dies.
No. You good?
Nathan, really good shot from right here. Like right there.
Yeah.
That was
Welded all the way around and then welded to each other. So much. All right, time to the other side.
That's it. That's all there is to it. Whole engine harness. That's wild. I like it. Set that there for safekeeping. And I am gonna set these little clips that came out somewhere I'll forget about. Check us out by hand. Oh, it's got some compression too. A little bit of a funny noise. Let's see if Devin wants to pull this valve cover and investigate. I think we should. It makes a funny noise when you turn it over. I'm gonna pop the valve cover. I want a Nissan engine. I need to buy another Nissan because I messed mine up with a Chevy engine in it. So I need to buy another Nissan and keep the Nissan engine. Let's see what we're working with here. Woo! Wow, that's black. Wow. That's real dirty. Now let's see what this noise is. Figured it out.
That's okay.
It's got some compression though.
It's only a little sludgy. Well, I mean, this thing got off the road in the 90s. Oil wasn't that great back then.
No. There
A
was
couple oil changes, some Lucas, a little bit of kerosene,
looking brand new.
Why is this
sawdust. All right, we're making this up as we go, but the current plan is to make enough clearance for the subframe to come up and the frame to go down in relation to the subframe. We need to notch this frame up and around. Let me show it to you on that side. So right here, we're gonna take a 45-ish cut here, right? And then that cut is gonna go all the way down the frame to about here and back down. And then that is gonna continue to the bottom on each side. So we're gonna take this section of metal out and then the bottom of the frame out. And what that's gonna do is let this frame come up to where this subframe come up to where the top of this subframe is at the height of the bottom of the actual frame. And the reason we wanna do that is because it looks dumb right now with the subframe being so low. So we need to bring the subframe up under the truck. Once it's up that high, we're gonna take a piece of this and we're gonna lay it on the top of the frame to strengthen the frame back up. Now the reason we don't wanna cut the whole frame out is because these are front body mounts. We want them to stay where they need to be so that when we put this back together, the body will just sit right back on it. We won't have a whole lot of fitment issues in terms of getting the body to fit back on. So once this plate's on here and welded on and re-strengthening our frame up, there's gonna be another one that's gonna mount to the side of it like this. And that's where the holes are gonna be drilled in the bottom, here and here, to mount through the subframe and mount the subframe to the frame. And then once we have that flat section here that we want, we're gonna go to our buddy Brad. He's gonna take like roll bar, like cage frame tubing, and he's gonna bend us a loop that goes up and then a loop that goes around to mount that strut. Chunky, grab that strut. We need to find a place to mount these struts that's gonna support the vehicle's weight really well and not have to worry about it. So he's gonna build us a loop that comes up and a loop that comes off of that one out around here. And we're going to be able to weld in the angle that we need for this strut to those tube frames and then have like a triangle shaped gusset here to strengthen it up. Maybe. That's the plan. That could change anytime now.
He's got just heat shields on heat shields. All right, intake's coming. Just stuck on the brick bolts.
Lights it up.
Oh, my goodness. Dude. Look at that. Dude, that is so wacky. Dude, put them on opposite sides, please. Why? Look at that. They're out there figuring out the real details. I'm just over here just lollygagging with this thing. I am very interested in this thing though. Now, if only we had a turbo for our L28. Hey, leave your Nissan stuff to me. I'm all you need, son. So now the question is, does the intake fit over the turbo? All right, let's see if this setup is gonna work. Huh? Yes.
So for now, I think I'm gonna take and measure this subframe out to where I want it, and then tack the subframe in place, just tack weld it to the frame here, and then start working on the rear so that we can get it back under the body, make sure we have this exactly where it needs to be before we build this entire front subframe area, and then find out it's in the wrong spot, like it doesn't line up with the fenders or something's in the way that we can't see right now. So I think we get the welder fired up, tack, 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 start working on the rear. Yeah. Okay, let's move on back. So this section of the frame here, where the cab mounts to, is level in relation to the ground. It sits parallel to the ground to keep the truck sitting parallel to the ground. Now what also sits parallel to the ground is the bed. And the thing we're looking at now is how are we going to make sure that where we mount these pieces of C-channel that the subframe's gonna mount to, how are we gonna make sure that those are sitting parallel with the ground as well? Because on a Miata, the top of this subframe sits parallel to the ground, and the ground's all that matters. So what we just realized is, since this is a bed mount, and back there on the other side of where we're mounting this that needs to be parallel to the ground is also a bed mount, those 2 points are the exact same height in relation to the ground and also parallel to the ground. So what we were able to do is take that piece, that level there, go across the 2 pieces here, and then make a mark at that height, and that is where we're going to mount our piece of C-channel to. We're gonna lay it in there and weld it in right there. And then drill through it, mount the subframe. Bob's your uncle. I actually have an Uncle Bob. Hi.
That's not how it goes on.
That's not how that goes on there.
Wow.
I'm a grinder.
Perfect.
All right, to the other side.
Love it.
Gotta get the jack stands out.
Yep. Suspensioning.
I like it so much. It looks good. Look at that. Well, here we are. Look at what we did. there is Miata subframes underneath of a Chevy Love. I don't know what achievement we should get for that, but I mean, it's crazy. Look at it. We have the front subframe dialed in pretty good. The rear subframe is holding the frame up. It just needs set front to rear, but it is looking really good. We've made way more progress than I thought we could in this amount of time.
Yeah, we're not fabricators,
Not at all.
but you know, we have a torch, we have a welder, and we'll make it happen.
So if you've made it this far in the video, if you would please like and subscribe and turn on notifications, that will help fuel builds like this in the future. Get even crazier with it.
We appreciate you guys. We'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you.